In 2010, I was living in England, and at that age, I was 18 years old. I had to make some decisions for myself, and living in England was not easy at all, Dave. It was very cold, and honestly, that made a big part of why I had to move somewhere sunny, you know. And I took the leap of faith, and I got a visa for the United States, and I came here on a US F1 visa to basically start pursuing my dreams.
I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution. Welcome back to another exciting episode of RX Muscle Spotlight. I'm Dave Palumbo, and I'm joined by our 2023 NPC USA Light Heavyweight Champion and now IFBB Pro, Zade Raslan. Welcome to the show, my friend. Congratulations on the win and the pro card.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. It really is.
You have a really interesting story. Now, for those of you who don't know Zade, we're going to find out a lot about him. But, I worked with him back in 2018 when he was still competing on the regional level. And you originally were born in Syria, moved to England, and then got a student visa to come to the United States, which in and of itself is a monumental task. And you really, from what you told me, and you tell me if this is true or not, you came here to pursue bodybuilding.
Yes, absolutely. In 2010, I was living in England, and at that age, I was 18 years old. I had to make some decisions for myself, and living in England was not easy at all, Dave. It was very cold, and honestly, that made a big part of why I had to move somewhere sunny, And I took the leap of faith, and I got a visa for the United States, and I came here on a US F1 visa. To basically start pursuing my dreams and turning pro, basically.
Well, I'm sure you had to tell the consulate that you wanted to come here for student purposes, for studying, right?
Absolutely, yes. At first, I was an applied and theoretical physics major in college, University of California, San Marcos, down here in San Diego, and few years deep, I had to make a final decision of where my life should be headed, and bodybuilding and fitness overall took basically the main driver's seat for me, and I had to basically drop out of college and pursue bodybuilding full time, even though at the time it was very much unknown, just going into the unknown. That was really scary, but we did it. We really did it.
We did. Well, I know all about that. I dropped out of medical school to pursue bodybuilding, and I had a lot of people tell me go back to school. So I can relate to what you went through. Now, when you pick a major in school, and I'm always interested in how they decide what they're going to do. Applied and theoretical physics is a pretty out there major. It's not like your typical biology, anthropology, English, or history, or business. What made you pick physics?
I'm fascinated with physics, honestly. Ever since I was in high school, I was the #1 student in my class in physics. I loved it. I loved the principles, how things were discovered, and how things fit together mechanically. And obviously, if you want to learn physics, you have to learn math with it. So the love for math and physics together come in handy. And I was really good at those subjects. So, and then obviously there was a big inspiration in my life. It's a little stupid one, but it really was an inspiration to me. It's called the TV show Big Bang Theory. I'm sure you've seen it on TV. Just seeing those guys being theoretical physics guys and just how they made their money. And obviously it's not very true how the TV shows it, but some of it really is. If you are smart enough and you are like knowledgeable enough, you build your name and your knowledge in the physics world, you can be like just those dudes, you know. And that was a very far-fetched dream for me, but I went for it to be just to get started in school. That was my main interest, just science subjects, chemistry, physics, and math. And honestly, these are the subjects I did really well at, and all the other subjects I really sucked at, like history, something else like boring politics or critical thinking, stuff like that, you know, that were not too much of my, yeah.
You know, if you would have said I was a biology major, I would have asked you a biology question. But since you're a physics major, I have to ask you. So, what do you think about the theories of the universe, the latest ones that are out there? You know, the string theory. They got the Big Bang. They're still trying to prove that. I mean, what's your whole take on how we got here and how this universe has been created?
Very great question. Because I'm a man of faith, so I definitely believe in God, and God has started the Big Bang. People tell you about the Big Bang, how it started. Yes, absolutely, but there must have been something. Obviously, I call it the God, but a higher power that started the domino chain effect, right? So honestly, and looking at the human body itself, this is also why I'm fascinated with bodybuilding, just to see how it responds to different things and how the small little systems that we have in our bodies, like how could you not believe, right? And as of the Big Bang theory, absolutely, I think God has started it, and this is where the whole the world was born, right, from an big ass explosion.
What do you think about like dark matter and like, you know, a lot of people don't even understand what that is. What can you break it down for us so that people who might not know what that means, tell us what it means?
Honestly, I'm not a pro myself. That's as I told you, I'm still an enthusiast in physics, but the part of physics that I'm really interested in is the little atoms, you know, the atom theories, and it's a different direction, and the laser theories, and Einstein in general, how he said if you were able to get a machine as fast as the speed of light, you would be able to freeze time. That's one of the major theories that attracted me to physics. And, I'm still learning, obviously, Dave, but I'm not a pro at this. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you something that I think is true or not. I'm just fascinated with physics, and it's still a big passion of mine.
Do you believe in, like, that we've had extraterrestrial life visit us? Do you believe in UFOs and all that stuff?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Who created this Earth and this galaxy did not just create the human race. I believe in that. And I also believe that the pyramids in Egypt are not even humanly made. There's no way these heavy stones were lined up perfectly at that weight. I truly believe they had extra help from somewhere, let's just say.
Yeah, I agree. Let's talk bodybuilding. So
yes,
you started 8 years ago on this journey to get this pro card. Obviously, you got it now. Going into this show, I mean, what was your expectations? Were you going in to win? Were you going into place? Like, what was your mindset at this point?
This was my 5th national try at my pro card, and previously last year I was 2nd place at the Amateur Olympia. And that same year, I did 3 national shows. Last year's USA's, I was 3rd place. And after that, I did nationals that same year. I was 4th. Then I did the show after, which is the Amateur Olympia. I was 2nd place. And then coming to this show, I had nothing else in my mind except 1st place. And not just 1st place, but the overall too. This was my first national show. First regional show I ever started with back in 2016.
Yeah.
So the mindset was to win the whole thing. And honestly, we came very close to doing so. My coach says that he saw me winning the overall, and I don't disagree with him, to be honest. Only because as a package deal, I think I brought something extra special than those guys they did in the overall lineup. And I believe the Mr. USA title is always going to be a very big muscular guy. It's not just very few people as light heavyweights were able to win the overall title. Yes.
Johnny Jackson did it in I forget what year, 2000. I think he did.
Lunsford, Derek Lunsford, and
right?
Yeah, there's another guy, Stewart, I believe his name is. I maybe 2018 or 2017. I believe, yeah.
Johnny
Yeah, the
Stewart.
mindset,
Johnny Stewart,
John. It was first place or nothing, basically. Anything else was a loss. I was 220 for finals, by the way, Dave.
Oh, why
That's
you really?
on stage. These pictures
Wow.
were 220 on stage next to
How'd you
Joe,
gain so
who
much
won.
weight?
Because for prejudging, we go on 9 a.m. on Friday morning,
Yeah.
and then for finals, it's pretty much 9 p.m. on Saturday night. So that's a big time for me to just eat,
Yeah.
and fill up. Yeah.
Sacrificed muscle having to make the weight class?
I did not, no, not at all. But I did have to suffer in the sauna a few hours before making weight. I had to drop few pounds in the sauna of water weight before I had to make weight. Yeah.
You know, you put all this effort. You obviously came over here. You were born in Syria. You know, you told me earlier we were talking, and you lost your dad at a young age, and your mom raised you, and you accomplished this major goal that you had to win your pro card. And now it's like, all right, I got to start over because now I got to put on a lot more size to be able to compete with these open guys. What's your mindset now? Was there like a little bit of a depression after the show because you're like, or are you still riding high on that win?
Honestly, Dave, it's this is the first time ever I don't experience post-show blues or post-show depression, as they call it. I understand I'm at the bottom of the pros and I need to put some size on. But as long as the potential is there, which is there, and I know my work ethic, so there's nothing stopping me right now. In fact, it's a very exciting time because now I don't feel pressure to turn pro anymore. Like I told you, this is a lifetime dream come true for me. Because I'm from a different country, I always felt the pressure that I started late in terms of competition. I always had that thought in my head, so it was like, turn pro, turn pro, turn pro. That's why I was doing 3 shows a year for 8 years in a row, just to try to get that pro card and move on. Now I'm trying to take 2 years off and just grow into a real professional and not be rushed to step on stage. That's a very new feeling for me because I'm always rushed to do that. Yeah. And then just get started and work my way up. Yes.
How much size do you want to, what do you think your body needs? Like, in other words, what are you looking to put on in terms of muscle mass wise over the next year or two?
I'm 5'9.5" on a good day, So I would love to be 245 on stage one day within like the next 4 or 5 years. Like I told you, I stepped on stage, to be very accurate, I was 218.8 for finals. So a little bit under 220. So if we can add 12, 15 pounds to that same conditioning in the right areas, that would be perfect. About 240 is what I want ultimately, because you can make 240 look 280 if it's in the right spots with the right conditioning.
Sure.
Yeah.
Small waist anyway. It had to be discouraging because I mean, when I competed back in the 90s and there was no super heavyweight class originally, guys who were heavyweights would suck down and make light heavy. I mean, they would kill themselves to make light heavy, kind of like what you did. And then when they would wind up on stage at 215, and these, it was really a heavyweight class, the light heavies, because if you didn't weigh, 195 pounds, you got slaughtered in that class because the guys were really big. Nowadays, guys just seem to go up to the heavyweight class, and then you have most of the light heavies are smaller, whereas you kind of like did the old school, I'm going to suck down and make light heavy. What made you decide to go light heavy versus, obviously you could have easily have made the heavyweight class and competitive in there? Yes.
2021, I won the Los Angeles Championships as a heavyweight at 214. And, as you know, Dave, you have tons of experience. I'm one of those dudes. I'm right in the middle. So sure. I could be, I can suck it down hard and make light heavies, or I can be in the first quarter of the heavyweight class. So this is just because of my height, because I'm 5'9". In the light heavyweight class, I noticed all the guys are shorter than me by at least 2 inches. Yeah. Exactly. So I'm honestly a heavyweight who sucks down to a light heavyweight every time. And that's why I'm very excited to see growing into the pro league without any weight restriction to make 198, because like I told you, it's very tough for me to make 198. very, very hard.
I
Yes.
can imagine. What tell us a little bit about what you do during the day to make a living for yourself now that you're not a student anymore.
Yes. So I have my own gym. It's called Long Beach Fit Club. I lease it, and I train my clients out of there. And I do online coaching as well. And on my free time, if somebody needs help, I also do help people with their posing. And also, I am a general manager for Max Muscle Long Beach, which is a nutritional shop. It's a nutritional shop in here, on Pine Avenue in Long Beach. We carry all species nutrition, by the way, Dave.
Awesome.
And our customers love Fiberlize. Our customers love Fiberlize. I gotta tell you, me too. I can't sleep without taking this thing. It made my waistline a lot better, and me and my girlfriend, my entire freaking family, and my clients, they all take Fiberlize. We need some royalties, Dave. Like, I kid you not.
I got to get you a code or something like that. I got to hook you up with a lifetime supply of stuff. You know, the funny thing about, now that you mentioned that, is that, you know, you're in the gym training people. You're running a Max Muscle store, giving supplement advice. Obviously, you love what you do. You immersed yourself in it. How do you have time to do both the training and working the store?
I mean, I separate days training clients from days working at the store, and sometimes they overlap. But yeah, Dave, I have days where I work 14 hours a day. Obviously, you know, bodybuilders are no strangers to the grind. So if you time manage well, you have time for everything. You know, I get up early in the morning, and I
have that work ethic that you do. You know, you're driven not just in the gym, but you're driven outside the gym too, which is why I think you're so successful.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you. I appreciate that. And one of the things I feared the most is, you know, many guys are very good with great genetics, great work ethic, but they never made it to the pro league. That was my worst freaking nightmare. That drove me crazy. I didn't want to be the guy who had good genetics and good hand he was dealt, but never made it pro. You know, so I think that's what drove me nuts to finally like pull the trigger and get a pro card. Yes.
I think it's look, you set your mind to something, and I remember talking to you. You were very, very, very intent on getting that pro card, and I think there were even conversations that you and I had where I said I think you should take off some time and put some muscle on because you were so driven to compete. I said you got to put some mass on your body. You know, you're never taking a break, but you had this sense of urgency for sure. You know.
True, very true, and I explained that earlier. But I don't have any rush anymore to step on stage.
I think you can put the muscle on too, and I think taking off a year is a good idea. And I think that you will be a dominant guy once you add enough muscle mass to be able to stand up there with everyone. Who do you like if you had to pick a bodybuilder in the pro league right now that you can say, hey, that's what I want to look like? You know, what bodybuilders do you seem to find that's the look that that you can relate to?
Regan Grimes, definitely. I don't have his height, but I think we have similar body structures on a different size. Obviously, he's a lot bigger than me, but he's my favorite physique in the IFBB. He's just a work of art, that guy. You know, he's very blessed, and I look up to him. Regan is one of the people I know, and he's an amazing champion. And what I like about him, he doesn't have an ego, really. He knows he's good, and he doesn't have to bring people down just to make himself feel better, whatever. You know, he's just like Jay. No one has bad thing to say about Jay, right?
Yes. No. I think Regan's a good guy, and he's a good role model, certainly for the sport. I just hope he doesn't jump off any more roofs into swimming pools. I get nervous when I see stuff like that.
I saw that too. I honestly shook my head, but I was like, okay, whatever. You know? Yeah.
Yeah. See, when you're young, you do stupid stuff. When you get older, you realize that stuff like that you can cost you your whole career. So.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't jump off any roofs, Zade. That's my words of wisdom to you.
Dave, I don't go on a scooter, like a regular scooter, like the one that it doesn't have a motor. I don't go on, like if it's not a car, I'm not getting in.
You're smart. You can't risk it. It's too dangerous,
Exactly.
If you want to give us some advice to maybe someone who might find themselves in a situation like you had, maybe being in a foreign country, not having the ability to have all the advantages, maybe not having the money to be able to do it. And you know, people who have all these excuses. Oh, I didn't have the right upbringing. I didn't have the right money. I'm in the wrong country. What advice would you give to people if they have a dream of becoming, you know, a top level bodybuilder? You went through it, you did it, you accomplished it, probably against the odds and against a lot of people who probably thought you'd never do it. Here's your chance.
Yes. Find the thing that you're very good at and excel at it. That's number one. Truly identify your niche, your passion in life, and put all your money on it and risk everything for it, and it will pan out. One thing I have to say, treat others with kindness and don't burn bridges, because you never know when you are in a position to move forward, but you can't because you screwed someone over one day, whether it's bad karma or somebody standing in the way. So that's my two things in life. Find what's your passion, what you're good at, and be kind to others, and everything else will work out. You need to obviously have the work ethic and the drive to get there. Don't be afraid to fail. That's very cliche to say, but it's true, because after each failure, I had to learn a certain lesson that I didn't make a mistake the next time I tried, and go for it with full heart, and 100% your dream will come true, just like I did. Once you say, yes, I will, to every no, every single time, keep your heart full with faith and belief, and you will get there too. 100%.
Very, very wise words. Thank you for passing those on. Hopefully you will motivate and inspire someone who's watching this interview. Congratulations on the huge win at the USA. I'm assuming you don't have a show picked out yet because you're going to be taking some time off, correct?
I do actually, and I don't mind sharing it on RX Muscle. I've been a big fan of this channel since 2009, I promise. And I want to do the Italy Pro in 2025. The whole entire European show, European tour. Dave, I've done 17 shows to turn pro, and they're all in the US. So I want to do my pro debut in Europe, and I want to do a few shows, go backpacking, get in a great shape, get some rice cakes with me, and do a few shows, because I'm not pressured to win the show. So that is amazing. So wherever I place, I'll probably be happy with it. I just got to improve as I go, and that's my plan to do the European tour in 25.
I love it. I was just saying something recently on the radio show. I said, I don't know why more U.S. people don't go overseas and compete. You get like a mini vacation out of it. You get the exposure to new people. You can make more relationships with the European, fans and their European promoters. I think it's a great idea, to be honest with you.
Yes, absolutely. And I want to say before you go, Mr. Dave, shout out to my trainer and coach, Brad Rowe. He's one of the people who believed in me and helped me a lot. Being from a very local bodybuilder that I couldn't place very well to an IFBB Pro, he helped me get here. And my training mentor as well, Doug Fruche, he helped me train in the gym and do my posing very well. These two men have helped me tremendously to get where I am today, and many thanks to them. And I also want to shout out Jay Cutler and Cutler Nutrition for also helping me get to where I need to be. And I've been working for Jay for 3 years now, and I'm a big part of the Cutler Nutrition family. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for everything, and thank you, Dave. Because of you, I have learned a ton of information, and this is why I think I'm a good coach, is because I learned from you and Chris Aceto, obviously. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I'm very appreciative.
A nicer guy couldn't have got his pro card. A great story, and it ended on a really great note. So enjoy that win as long as you can, because it never goes away, but people forget. But for now, hopefully we rekindled the win a little bit, and people will know who Zade Raslan is when they hear that name. And if people want to go follow you on Instagram, your Instagram is Zade, IFBB Pro _Zade_King. Give him a follow. Great guy. Great victory. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, guys.
That's going to take us to the end of another episode of RX Muscle Spotlight. I'm Dave Palumbo with Zade Raslan. We'll see you next time.